Hi, my name is Lerato Chawana, and welcome to Khaya TV. Khaya TV, inspiring youth.
Hello and welcome to Khaya Wellness Show. My name is Nthati Phakoe, and remember, on this show we bring to you a host of lifestyle choices. We talk about finances, about spiritual well-being, about mental and physical well-being. And as it so happens, today on the show we have with us Malehlohonolo Molelengoane, who is a financial coach. Malehlohonolo, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me over. As you said, my name is Malehlohonolo Molelengoane. I'm a lawyer and a financial coach.
How does the two blend? How did you get to that, from law to finances? I can see you moving from the faculty of law to the faculty of finance.
Not really.
Accounting?
Not really.
How does it work?
I'm not even moving. That's the thing. I'm still very much a lawyer. I love law with all my heart, so it's never something that I'll move from. I also love financial well-being.
Yes.
So why not be a lawyer with a knowledge of how to be financially well?
What sparked this? What brought about this decision?
My love for money and security, that's that.
Oh, I would have thought maybe during litigation you'd met a client or a couple of clients who were bombarded by either debts or bad financial decisions. But your love for money is a very good answer. It's a great answer. Don't we all love money?
We do. I guess we do. Well, I don't think I did much on litigation. I'm actually a human rights lawyer and protector. I've been working with your NGOs to advance vulnerable people's rights, that kind of vibe, because I'm that person. But then I've seen around me how bad financial relationships impact on people, and I wouldn't want that to happen to people anymore. You understand?
Could you please expand on that? Because that would have been my next question. Mm-hmm. What relationships emotional relationships do we have with money, and how do they impact how we spend it, how we receive it?
That's lovely. Money is not always about numbers. Money is so emotional, that more emotional than we would want to accept. You understand, as people, we think money is just numbers and your bucks, your 10 bucks, your 50 bucks, but it's not that. Money is so emotional. Let me just tell you something. From when you are very young, mm-hmm. you are molded into this Nthati with this relationship with money. You understand? Mm-hmm. Our financial decisions don't start when we start working. It dates back to when you were being raised mm-hmm. in a household. You understand? That's where your relationship with money starts. I like making this example. In families whereby you'll be sent to maybe your neighbor's house, like,
yes,
Nthati,
yes.
Why not Nthati, go and get my money from Nematabo?
It's a fear for money.
You understand? And that's what your mother is molding. And Nthati, who's very scared of money, yes, without even noticing that. You understand? Mm-hmm. Because now when you grow up, you're going to be very afraid to talk about money. You'll be like, let's say you give a loan to a friend, and then you'll be like, Mohoti, diding.
Yes.
Money is not dating. Money is money. Yes. You understand? You avoid anything that has to do with financial decision making, or even talking openly about money. You don't even know what you're worth.
I've had people want to get a loan, or applying for a loan from loan sharks, and they'd say, "Now come for 3." What is 3? Is it 300? Is it 1,000? Is it 3?
You're so ashamed, you're so ashamed about this monster. Mm. And there are people who come from families where they watch that Auntie Molly has money and she has the final say. You understand? you're molding a child. The child who's watching, they're gonna want to have money to control
Others, of course.
you understand, because somebody in that family who had a lot of money wore the control blanket. You understand? When they are here, when Auntie Molly says no, we are not doing that, the whole family is like, yeah, we are not, because the money has spoken. You understand? And then this is how we mold people's relationships with money. Sometimes you'll find that a child grows up in a family whereby the father is very abusive. Any form of abuse, don't even sweat it.
Could be verbal,
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
financial.
And then when daddy comes home the next day, he buys mommy a nice ring, a nice watch, nice dinner vibes, and then you're molding somebody who thinks that money can cover all evil. Money buys love. You understand? So these are the relationships we have with money, and they are very unconscious. We're not even aware that we are those people. Somebody will tell you that, you know what, I work hard for my money because I don't want to beg as I grew up. And this person will even ruin beautiful relationships because they are on that thing of, I want to have money.
Can one heal from such scars?
Of course.
Okay, how so?
If you heal from your emotional, I know you're an emotional trauma person.
Yes.
If anyone can heal from that trauma, then you can heal your relationship with money. You understand? Because once you're aware that you need help, you understand, then that's when you can take a healing journey and then maybe renew or revive or correct your relationship with money to be something that is very secure. To know that, you know what, I don't care if family loves me or not, I'm enough. I won't use my money against my long-term goals to please everybody.
Yes.
You understand? I will not be in a relationship that is toxic to me because there's a financial value to it. You understand? Yeah, that's just that. You can heal from that.
Speaking of that, many people know exactly what to do with their money. They've got a budget, they know what they'd like to do, but they somehow struggle to stick to that. What do you think causes this?
We just talked about our relationship, emotional relationship with money. We are people who are somehow like knowledgeable. We know what to do with our money most of the time.
Okay.
I want to think people know what to do with their money. But there's also that part that we want to ignore, but Yona doesn't ignore us. You understand?
Okay.
You know that you have to have a budget. You know that you have to have plans, your financial plans, be it long-term, mid-term, or short-term. You know this. You know how you can do that. It's easy. You know you can budget, you can do whatever, but then that emotional trauma, that financial trauma, it's still here, it's not treated.
Okay.
So if you are Nthati who's always a go-to person in your family or wherever in your community, even with friends, because friends can be very abusive also.
Yes.
So you know that, okay, I've budgeted that this month I'm going to take out the lay-by. You understand? Then a friend calls you midnight. Because I need a favor, as if Chelete comes at that speed. You have to wait for the whole month for this money that somebody wants as soon as now. You understand? Then, you know, if you feel like to be loved, you have to provide, you have to always be a go-to person, you're going to ditch these plans. You know exactly what you have to do. But you're going to ditch it. No, I'll take it of it maybe next month, but next month has its own things. You understand? You're going to dive into whatever that you needed to do, you knew that you had to do to appear as the savior. You understand? And the cycle goes on. Yeah, you understand?
So now you've messed up next month's needs, you've messed up your long-term, like you're saying, it would be for long-term plans.
Yeah.
So now your long-term plan is this guy has been thrown off the rail because you had to be an emotional being and come through for your people.
Yeah.
So that's what.
Yeah, you're feeling that void,
says.
that whatever void that you have in here, you're trying to fill it. You understand? So it's just that we know what to do. Like, we know the right thing to do with our money. It's hard earned anyway. But somehow we get derailed due to unresolved financial traumas. You understand?
I remember seeing a clip of one of the seminars that you've had, a talk you had with a couple of ladies on finance talks, and I remember you'd said something about we need to be able to step back when a friend asks for money, step back and say, can I think about it?
Yeah.
Like now when you say they call you and it's an emergency, they want a response right away with money that you've been waiting for the whole month. I remember you saying we need to be in the position to say, can I go and think about it? Can I get back to you tomorrow?
Yes.
Can you please try and extrapolate that for the viewer? Because it's quite important that people know that money, it shouldn't be your emergency, shouldn't be my emergency, therefore messing up my plans.
Yeah. It was just an example of setting clear boundaries. Financial boundaries, you understand? Instead of being that's when you're healing, that go-to person. It's not like you're the only person that person can call, but you're the simpler one, you're the simpler choice, you understand? Because they know that, and you know, when people do these things, they play with your brain. They be like, you know, I had nobody, one other next plan. You know, you're my savior. Hey, who died and made me your savior? Like, who does that? Because they appeal to your vulnerability.
It's a form of manipulation.
Yes, and they master it over time. You understand? So instead of being like, okay, fine, let me see what I can do, whatever, or get an accounting thing. They just say, Ish,
you need to be a
I'm
savior.
still very sleepy. Can I get back to you in the morning?
Okay.
If in the morning that emergency is still there, it wasn't an emergency. And it wasn't yours to entertain in the first place.
If in the morning the same emergency still exists,
Yes.
and it wasn't an emergency,
No.
because it would have been sorted out.
Yes, and we have a lot of people to entertain our emergencies. It's just the easy targets.
Just before we go for the break, how do we then, from this very last part of the conversation, how do we then maintain Ubuntu? Because we are social beings.
Yeah.
How do we maintain Ubuntu whilst also setting clear financial boundaries?
You answered yourself. You can still be in the full spirit of Ubuntu with clear boundaries. Ubuntu doesn't mean exploit yourself.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that. It doesn't.
You're right.
Yeah.
Intriguing. Do stay with us for more of this conversation after the break. Welcome back to the Khaya Wellness Show, and in studio we have with us Malehlohonolo Molelengoane, a financial coach. It was a very intriguing conversation before we went onto the break, and after the break we have even more ground-shaking questions. Malehlohonolo,
Malehlohonolo,
not lehlohonolo, lehlohonolo.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, that's great for that correction. How would you say societal and cultural narratives shape how we view wealth and finances in society?
Wow. That's intriguing. All right. Again, we are Basotho. And then we have our own societal pressures and beliefs.
Yes.
You understand why I'm saying pressures. Let's take an example of somebody who started working. You understand? And then they start working for a very decent paying company or whatever you understand. And everybody expects them to shine. You understand? We don't know this person's goals. We don't know anything about their plans. But there's that expectation that when we're going out for chill outs, you understand, or clubbing,
jobs, they must show up.
You understand? It's kind of like sharp. You understand that thing, and it's a very subtle kind of pressure. You feel like if you want to go to a club, now you have to dress a certain way. That's number one.
Oh yes.
Yeah, what besa? And you besa from this salary. You understand? And also these expectations are fueled by us. You understand?
As the outsiders.
No.
As the individual.
The individual. I remember when I first got my first NGO work, I was very fresh from university. I told my dad what I was gonna earn. At that time I felt like it was decent, you understand? And when I told him what I was going to earn, I didn't think about the revenue, like
pay as you
earn. No, I just
A's,
like, you know, I was just like, yeah, you understand? And I created an expectation now that if you earn that much, we have to see. You understand? Even around my peers, you know, we talk. Ne? Even if you don't tell me that, you know what, I earn maybe 40 grand per month.
But we can tell.
Yeah, I can certainly leave hints like, no, you know what, you know, you understand. Now,
I can afford to pay 10,000 a month. It means, you must be getting way more than that.
You understand? Now, I bring the pressure to myself without even knowing that I'm doing that. Now I have to have a car. Why I'm still paddling in mud when I earn that much. And I want to go for cars. I need to get a car that says a lot without me saying anything.
Okay.
You understand? That's how we get to this issue of pseudo affordability. You think you afford that lifestyle, but you don't.
You don't, yes.
Then there is culture. This one affects men mostly.
Okay.
You're a guy, you have a job, and then it so happens that you're the eldest, you understand? You have sisters at home. Maybe they're making babies, you know, as if it's something like a marathon. Yeah, you understand? Now, family expects you as a man to man up.
And take care of nieces and nephews.
Like, how do you afford to drive a Golf R and then your sister's child doesn't even have shoes? The shame. Who does that? You understand? And then you carry on everybody. You understand?
What they call black tax.
Yeah, it's blacker than black, actually. You understand? So our culture, and let's even leave culture alone. You know, there's this thing of Christianity, and I'm a very Christian person.
Staunch Christian, yes, I know you to be one.
Yeah, you understand. But there's this thing that it's like we owe somebody our success when we are in this beliefs that we accustom ourselves with. You understand? You know, when you have your nice heels on a Sunday, we expect Nthati won't put $20. We don't say that to you.
Offering basket.
Yeah, the offering basket. Yes. We don't say that to you. But actually, that's unsaid pressure. You understand?
Also because apparently as humans we're telepathic. So somehow through telepathy,
somehow, you know, when you enter a room and you feel like I'm expected to be a certain way. You understand? Somehow you put pressure on yourself. This is why whenever I walk into a room, I just keep quiet. You can talk all you want. I'm a very talkative person, but you can talk all you want because I need to assess what exactly.
Read the room first. What's the environment?
Yeah, because that's very important. I don't want to put myself like under pressure that is not even about me. You understand? So that's what happens with money also. The beliefs, how we grew up, our culture, the societal expectations, you know, and Cape Town, like sometimes you don't even afford this vacations, but
you have to go on a
but you have to go. You understand?
Go on a cruise. You cannot go.
How many Madumanis, like 2 minutes Madumanis have you seen around Masero?
She says Madumani.
Yeah, like 2-minute noodles. Yeah, you see them today, like they are here. You know, here, driving. Like, you even wonder, like, am I doing something wrong? Like, am I not planning my money well? Then 2 minutes down the line, you see, like, hey, Nthati, what happened to
They're
Nthati?
struggling,
Because
drowning in debt. They're
yes,
running away from
yeah, and we always run to that.
unnecessary anxiety, frustrations, ruined relationships.
Yeah, institutions will tell you that, okay, fine, when you do KYCs, they'll tell you like, no, you can afford to drive this kind of car because we can take maybe 15 from your, and you feel like, 15, sure. But can you really afford that car? In the long term, can you really afford that car?
There's fuel, there's unforeseen future
And you
commitments with money.
You can't drive a certain car and then live in a one-room apartment. You understand? It doesn't happen. You have to step up. And the more you step up, the more you take from this same salary. You're really stressing the salary out. You understand? So I think most of what we get as people who have immense debt and they are overly indebted, it's not because they were stupid from the get-go,
Yes.
but because they were not intact with their relationship with money. They didn't have a secure relationship with money, and then all these other factors factored in.
Not to say there's anything wrong with them getting
No.
these cars and these things.
No, there's
But what
nothing.
you're saying is if it were wise decisions which were made not from a place of trauma, from a place of trying to fix something from the past.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Not to say there's anything wrong
No,
with
I
yes,
like
yes.
I like soft life, vacations and all, but I feel like if everything is well planned,
Yes.
you understand?
Yes.
No, let's leave. Let's have that. Let's get those loans and build ourselves with them. Use them to get richer or wealthier. You understand?
Yes.
But don't fall into a trap of trying to be something that you're not,
And that you
to
can't
impress
maintain.
to impress your peers, because we're not going to be impressed 2 minutes when you're drowning in debt. You'll be alone in that ditch. Yeah.
Yeah, I like how you're blunt, and I like your approach towards things, because usually we try and walk on eggshells and tiptoe around issues. We'd like to portray things as best as we can, as diplomatic as we possibly can.
Yeah.
But such talks don't really break through to the viewer, nor to the people around us, nor even to ourselves. Because you sitting here, I'm talking about this, I can identify myself in some of them. Had you been gentler, I wouldn't have identified myself in some of the points you've just mentioned. So now also in closing, with you being a financial coach, has there been a time when you've had a session with a client and that breakthrough brought better mental health and emotional health in their life?
Definitely.
Would you care to share?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a story. I'm gonna tell you a folktale. Anyway, no, there's this person, I don't even want to say the gender. Like, there's this person who was living from like salary to salary, that kind of vibe, that you're looking so anxiously at the calendar. Like, yeah, 18, 20, 20, my thing is thinking. You understand? So it was sad for her because those emergencies that we talked about
Yes.
were never taken care of. When somebody is running on reserve every time, like, you don't even have emergency fund. And I know there are just so many people who do not have
An emergency fund.
an emergency fund
Or savings. What are those?
or savings.
What are those?
You understand? So she fine, she was in a relationship, like, this soft marriages, stay together kind of vibe.
It's called a soft marriage.
No, I'm
You
just
learn
being
every day. Yes, yes,
diplomatic
yes.
about
Yes,
it.
yes.
So she was in that kind of setting, and it was a very toxic one. But her argument was like, for me to build myself financially, I need to be with this person. You understand?
Was the person her financial backbone?
Yeah, a very stable backbone. But her salary was decent. She could do whatever she wanted to do with that salary. So
which would have been along her means.
Yes.
With her small salary, she could have had
It
a
wasn't
better
small,
life.
it was decent.
With a decent salary, she could taking care of herself in an environment
without
that wasn't
enduring
toxic.
all these things.
Oh, I
You
see.
understand? But here is a person who now says, I have to send money home. Why do you have to send money home?
Who, her or the partner?
No, her.
Okay.
Her. This is my person, my client. Why do you have to send money home? No, my mom, whatever. Like, but your mom is a teacher. Why do you have to send money home? You understand? Then we started there, because that's where the problem was. And don't think she was sending small amount of money, 1 grand, 2 grand. No, she was sending money. Like my mom has mukhat or whatever, but she is a teacher, she's working. And you're not the only child. Why should you be the one sending money home? It stemmed from a very toxic relationship with the mother, that she needed to do something to get her affection. You understand? So she needed to finance all this. I want to say rubbish, but I don't want to say rubbish. Like from the mom. You understand?
So she had to stay in a toxic relationship.
Yes.
In order to
finance her mom's
another toxic relationship.
Yes, you understand. So I'm like, just 1 month. Let's start there. Just 1 month. I know it's gonna be painful, but don't send money home. She called me like, she's calling. Just say you don't have it. Like this month is bad. You don't have that amount, and even ask for her support. Be toxic, just maybe for 2 minutes. It's just like, I like even transport I don't see. Guess what?
What?
She sent money
Her
to
mother
her.
sent her money.
Yes.
Her mother sent the client money.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I'm like, you see, this person doesn't need your money. You need to go fix whatever toxicity that you're claiming. You need to go. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not whatever, but you need to go there and fix that, because now
It shouldn't be fixed by money.
yes, money doesn't have a role in that relationship, you understand? So we decided, I gave her a small task, like, what, maybe go whatever, talk and try to see what is that you are feeling, because now I'm a psychologist. I'm not in there. You understand? But I am a coach, not an advisor. Also.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So I need to understand why you're doing all these things that you're doing with money. So 2 months went, she didn't send the money, and I'm like, you see now that what you were worried that if anything happened you wouldn't have money. Now you have so much money.
Should anything happen?
Wabon. So like later, and she was like, you know what? I decided that I need space. I'm like, what do you mean you need space? I wanted to stay alone. I'm like, did you get out of that? Because we never talked about her relationship, because I'm not a relationship coach or whatever. So I wouldn't even dare go
towards. Know what to say.
No. So I was like, so how's brothers doing? Like, we haven't talked in such a long time, whatever. And she sound, when the person is happier, you can tell
from their voice.
Like vibes are vibing. I'm like, look at you. So it's just that.
Insightful. So you just said something now. I know I said in closing, but you just said you're a financial coach or a financial advisor. Can you just quickly make it clear for the viewer what it is that you are, and then what the difference is between a financial coach and a financial advisor? And then at the end of it, if you're offering any services, are you currently practicing? Where could they find you? And yes, your contacts.
All right. Yeah. Well, advising, like financial advising, is about telling people what to do and what not to do with their money to achieve their goals. You understand? It's kind of like a blanket approach to wealth building.
Okay.
Whereas coaching is personal. It's an individual approach to how people relate with money, how we need to change their declarations or identities with money, if they're toxic identities with money. You understand? We look at you as an individual that we want to mold into somebody with a very secure financial attachment. You understand?
Yes.
Because at that point, that's when you can build wealth. I can preach to you like save Nthati, save 30% or 20% of your salary, but if you have a problem with your relationship with money, you will never save that. You understand? That's where advice now falls short, and that's where coaching starts. You understand? Just like in the field, you have coaches. Coaches will even tell that no, you'll be a midfielder, not whatever. You understand? Because they see you and your strengths and your weaknesses. You understand? You understand?
Yes,
you get that right?
Yes, I do. And the viewer does as well. So please let the viewer know where to find you, how to contact you, and what kind of services do you offer, really?
Coaching
Is it just
services.
the coaching and the legal part? Are you practicing as a lawyer?
No, I'm not. I'm not practicing as such. But for financial coaching, people can get me on my mobile, and then we can talk from there at 6314-7470. Let the coaching begin.
Thank you very much for honoring this invite on our show. It was quite insightful, and I do hope that a lot of us come to you for financial coaching, and that our viewer really did harvest something from it. Thank you very much also to viewer for joining us today in this very engaging and therapeutic, I would like to say, conversation. Until next time, keep well.